Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here with us today. We appreciate the viewership on the final show of 2023. We're going to talk a lot about that a little bit later, but let's get started on our weather, brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and his hardworking crew, taking care of our everyday comfort needs. High today, 67, low 50. Water temperature, how about 59.9? I told you it's going to get below 60 pretty soon, but officially 59.9. So here we are. The river reading brought to us by the good folks at Panama City Coca-Cola. The Apalachicola is a little bit on the rise there at Bluntstown. We're looking at 5.6, and the Choctawhatchee Carabelle is at a 3.5, and it's pretty steady on the Choctawhatchee. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We've gotten back into a little bit of good tide today. We've got a low tide at 425 and a high tide at 618. And look at the rest of this week, all of next week. In fact, the rest of this year, good, strong tides. And appreciate that. Joe Anderson doing our tide charts for us. Let's go and do the fishing and game blue water outrigger report. We're looking at our times at 6:54 to 8:54 and 7:19 to 9:19. I want to say a good morning to Sean Derby, works at Dick's Sporting Goods over there the other day. He watches the show every morning. Appreciate it, Sean. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We've got a lot to cover today. We're going to try to cram it all in, so just y'all pay attention now. First of all, I want to say a good morning to Jamie and Karen Chasen. They watch the show every morning. Got to talk to Karen, and the two of them moved down from Atlanta 2 years ago. They love going to Cape San Blas for the last 10 years. They loved it so much. They said, they're young. They said, why wait till 60 to move down here? And they love down here, and we're so glad y'all watch the show every morning. Karen, it's a pleasure talking to you, and Jamie, appreciate you watching the show every morning, and glad to have y'all down here with us. Okay, let's move on. I'll try to I'm going to do a year in review. And, you know, at the end of the year, you sort of get nostalgic, thinking about all this stuff happened, all this good stuff. So this is a reflection on what happened. I was telling Jeff, I delete a lot of pictures y'all send in because it's just, it'll be so a huge volume of pictures, I can't keep them all. So this is just selected of some of the ones I found. Some of them are, some of them are memories from years past that I showed this year too. So we've got all kinds we're going to show. So here we go. I'm going to go pretty fast through them. Tess Randall Jolly, we're talking about outdoor photography. She was a great photographer up in North Alabama, and isn't that a great picture there in the springtime? And I'll get some sayings. This is funny. I want to show. This is how our parents used to text back in the day. This house better be spotless before I get home from work. If it's not, everybody gets a whooping. Mom. That's texting back in the day. This is just a jasmine that Wendy planted many, many years ago and blooming in the springtime. It's special to me every time it blooms out. Moving along. How about Stan Kirkland? This was not this past year. An old picture of Stan Kirkland we found back in the day. Stan's on the right-hand side right there. His daughter actually posted that. Got to talk, you know how we love history, and I got to talk at Old Callaway School. And I'm going to be there again in March of this year, doing another talk on the history and heritage of the fishing and boat building here in our area. Special school right there. I'm so glad they saved that. Got to talk to this is Southport Elementary. These kids learning about fishing, and I had a fun field day, and I was one of the guest speakers there. This is me on one of the quail hunts. I forgot who. I think I'm with Freddie York and Charles Willis right here. And I love that gun there, those 20 gauge. Oh, here's the Southport kids again. They look, and I'll be willing to work at some of your schools as a speaker and all, a guest speaker. Took a good friend of mine, Mike Heppenstall, took him on red fishing. Braden Harris went along with us, and we just had a good morning. Michael is not getting on, had some health problems, and we were able to, he was able to catch that was special right there, nice redfish. Michael Heppenstall, good guy there. Last December, Christmas break, that's Walter and Mason and I on a quail hunt up there at Circle S Farms, Swindell. Ken Paramore, his big turkey. Gail and her sister up in Alabama took a weekend up there. They traced their roots and all their ancestors up that way. And Wendy and Cindy cousins at one of the old family cemeteries up that way. Had a great weekend with them. Stayed at a little state park cabin, quail hunting again. Longleaf, this one I'm telling you, you could get on a hunt there, right north of Bluntstown. Rodney Smith and the crew. Take the kids from Mosley Outdoor Ed. We've taken them pier fishing every spring for, I don't know, 25 plus years at least. Every spring the seniors get to go. That's always fun. Chip and I got to catch some pompano down at Cape San Blas. That was in May, I believe, in May. I try to always go in May. Gail making cookies. The Easter bunny. She was mad that I took this picture, but she loves her kitchen and she's an amazing cook. And the family was there for Easter, and it was just a special time. That's my family. I love them. We just a wonderful family. I thank God every day for my family. And some old coaches I used to coach track with. In fact, Coach Wright, he's still at Bozeman now. Coach Rivers, he moved back home to Georgia, but he was down one weekend at a track meet. And Lawrence Sledge, good folks right there, good reunion. That's my late brother right there. Showed one of his pictures with an orange cap and his hunting buddies back in the day. Planted some trees for outdoor ed. Those trees, they got dug up because they had to run a line, but we try to do that every year in school. We'll try to just plant trees, move on along. We did a show 4,500 this year, this past spring, and that was a special time. Went to Tallahassee, got to see some folks, some Mitzi, Prater, of course, Patronus. We talked outdoors. What was special, these are two of my former outdoor education students. They're working in the governor's office. I'm talking about inside the governor's office. They're really high up for their ages and all that, and I really appreciated them. And we talked outdoors. And Griff Griffiths, who's been on the show, a representative. Got to meet Steve Spurrier for the first time. His granddaughter graduated from Mosley. I had my master's jacket on. Our annual fishing trip with Sledge and our crew, what a great trip we had. Big old snapper. And remember the turtles, they're marking turtles nested at the Cape, moving on along. Another fishing trip. This is Drew Pollard taking his folks, his company, Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, and taking them on a snapper trip. Good stuff there. And that's Drew with the sun catching them, towel. That's Mason. We got to go this spring, and this is down around Howard Creek area. Mason loves to fish. He's in college now, don't get to do as much as he wants to. And they played that weekend down at Port St. Joe. They got a lot of good music at Port St. Joe. Walter, Mason, and Chip. That was a special night. Foundation of the outdoor education classroom that morning. When it first poured the foundation of the outdoor ed classroom, I was there and I followed it all along, and we got all kind of, they finished it right there. Ronald Stevenson on the show, he's Conservationist of the Year. There's Gail Scallopin. Look at the scallops we got. The storm at the Cape, I'm gonna have been a bad storm, remember that. Our scalloping crew down at the Cape, what a wonderful time, great time we have every year with our friends. And y'all so much, I get some of the message, I say this, you know anyone that teaches fishing to old people? Melanie, we hadn't found anybody yet, but y'all keep, I'm saving this because we want to get something started. Melanie Sellers, touch base with me when you get a chance. And we're going to see what we can do. Negate the negative, pursue the positive. And my brother back in the school board patrol, the launching of the ship. Bobby Smith, bass number 60,000. Was that special? We're going to have to move on along, then a hunting trip to Alabama. We're going to go, let's go and take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's go to some updated pictures I just got in last day or two. This is Wendy sent this to me. It's down at Cape San Blas. The St. Joe group posted it, and it's really cool. And I don't know who shot the video, but check this out. Some deer. Look at it close. That's 2 bucks. Okay, the doe's out front. 2 big bucks. And I don't know exactly where Cape San Blas this is, or up in St. Joe Bay. It might be the head of the bay, but it looks. To me, it looks a little bit like the state park area. Is that not cool? Look at them running over there. Okay, let's play it. Let's see. Anyway, that's the sunset down there when they posted. But anyway, that's really cool stuff. One of the great things about the computerized age, all the pictures I get in from y'all. Okay, now let's move on. A good friend of mine, Carol Miller, went out to St. Andrews State Park. We're talking about outdoor photography. She sent a series of her photographs she took out at the state park. Is this not beautiful? How natural is that? Carol, look at that. He's got it down in the sand. He's digging deep. Check this out. How about that? And see what they're eating? They'll go out in the water and eat that. We have nature right here, and that's a good picture there. Good contrast with all of it. And there's a buck again. I really encourage wildlife photography, outdoor photography like this. And this is some great pictures. Carol, thank you so much for sending them. And I encourage you this year, make that one of your New Year's resolutions. Take some pictures. What a beautiful area, St. Andrews State Park, that we have there. Isn't that cool? Okay. All right, real quick, Bob Billsman sent this to me. Levon, Lighting by Levon. They go every year up to Illinois, and Levon shot a nice one. And right there, good job, Levon. So y'all, I love to see our sponsors being outdoorsmen. Harris Scruggs, he and his daughter got a big one. Good job, Harris. It looks like she has the pajamas on. So we have all of that, and let's see. And outdoor classroom, real quick, here's some final pictures of the year. It's coming along. Is that not cool? I told you it's going to look like a Bass Pro Shop. And we're going to tell you now, look at here. Okay, so, the child of my family's mealtime consists of two choices, take it or leave it. Don't forget, We Wall Wiggler, got t-shirts down there. This is the last post I'm going to give you for the year. Before I give it to you, well, I'm always encouraging you to get outdoors, to relieve the stress and get away from the crowd. Go hunting, go fishing, go walking through the woods, get on a kayak, just get outdoors, take pictures. I have some daily devotionals I read, and I enjoy them. And this year I've had one of mine has been a Tim Tebow daily devotional, and I read this the other day. So I'm gonna end the year with this because I got. Please don't think I'm being sacrilegious, but this is right here. I'm gonna read it to you. Here, right here, December 14th, last week. Emotional check-in. This comes out of Luke. The news about him was spreading even farther, and large crowds were gathering to hear him and to be healed of their sicknesses. But Jesus himself would often slip away to the wilderness and pray. Did we not talk about getting outdoors and to relieve stress and all? See the history of it and our heritage of it. And when I read it, I thought about a lot of us do those kind of things. So let that be part of your this year's plan in 2024. I want to start. We're going to do the famous Friday fishing forecast, but I want to do sort of reflection. I wrote down some notes last night, and I want to thank. As I look back on it, it's been a great year, folks. In January, we'll be starting our 19th year of Panhandle Outdoors. Thanks to a lot of different people. Thanks to Gail, to Jeff. Thank you to our sponsors. Been so good to us. Our viewers, and it's not just viewers. I use the term loyal viewers. Y'all are just amazing. I feel like I just have a bond with you. I know a lot of y'all I don't know. When I meet you or something, which all the time people say, hey, Coach, I watched the show. I've never seen him before, but I feel this instant bond to you, and I appreciate that. It's exciting to run this show. It's challenging and it's fulfilling, and our goal has always been to just basically two things: inform and entertain you. And I always ask for your support, your prayers, and just our sponsors have been so good to us. That's how we can stay on the air. This coming year we should hit show number 5,000, and we're very thankful for it. And I just feel special to me to be able to come up every morning and do this. But I could not do it without Gail and Jeff and the support that we get here and Fox 28. The folks at Fox 28 have been so good to us. Shauna and Donna, we appreciate them. So anyway, I just want to sort of year in reflection as we do our final show of the year. Now, with it being the final show of the year, we're going to do our drawing. And I got to think about it. We're going to go ahead In fact, right here. Can y'all see all these? These are all the winners this year. I'm gonna pour them all out. All these people won. I put them in this. All these people won this year. And this is our, I'm gonna do a drawing for today and then one for next week. So we're gonna draw it 2 times. Okay, the winner. And then start sending these back in over Christmas holidays, or after Christmas holidays. $20 from Freeport, Zane Pantalion, Zane, okay? $20. And the red snapper for this week is going to be from Sandy Creek, Susan Kozinski. Okay, that's this week's. All right, next week during the break, you still got to eat next week during the break, right? All right, from Alligator Point, John McCarter. You win the $20 gift certificate. Alligator Point. John, I hadn't heard from you lately. And the big red snapper from Weewall, Marie Hall. This is interesting how to end the year. Marie Hall, congratulations on the big red snapper. Weewall, Alligator Point, Freeport, and Sandy Creek. We covered the Panhandle like kudzu covers Alabama. That's the old saying back there when kudzu first came to Alabama. Okay, we're going to take a break and come back not with our just 4L's famous Friday fishing forecast, our final 5L's final famous Friday fishing forecast. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back and welcome to our famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Jessica Link Insurance and Financial Group and Matt Andrews, Hammer Down Roofing. Good folks there, really good sponsors. And Jessica, we got to get you on the show. We've had Matt on the show. So y'all tell Jessica we want her on the show and we'll talk about some outdoor stuff. Good folks up there in Lynn Haven. Now, I wrote down some notes last night. I sort of got tickled because I'm doing a 2-week forecast. This is Christmas break. Number one, the tides are in good shape. When I wrote the notes down, I talked about some just basic fishing points, and it amazes me how many of y'all really take all this stuff is serious, and so many of y'all really rely on it because I'm serious about it too when I tell you these things, and you don't take them for granted. Every little thing I talk about is things I've learned from myself fishing and from other folks fishing, and I sort of put it all in a nutshell. Number one, in the wintertime, you sort of want to slow down on these three, slow down on this fishing because the fish are a little lethargic. We talked about that before. Number two, fish at tides again. When that water's moving, it's important. And we got some great tides during the Christmas break, so fish your tides and watch them, watch that tide chart. And number three, keep moving. Don't stay in one spot too long in wintertime because they do sort of bunch up. And once you find them, you'll know when you find them. that's why in the wintertime, Bill Allen and I, and I'm going fishing today down to St. Joe, and we troll some and try to find them. Just troll real slow. Marion Smith and I used to troll down there in St. Joe at the canal. In fact, okay, here we go. So anyway, do that. Here's what you want to target. Okay, number one, you got sheephead. Target them. What kind of bait? Fiddler crabs. You want to also target number two, speckled trout. You can catch them with jigs. It's really a lot of fun, and that's what I'm talking about, trolling, trying to catch them. Number three, the slot red. The slot red fish are going to be in the areas, so try to catch the ones in a slot. And number four, flounder. You saw Joe Eddie gigging out the other night. The flounder out there, so go to the same flounder spots, those little holes out in the bay system. They're back in the bay now. And of course, number five, the whiting in the surf. Whiting, and on whiting, you want to use like shrimp, cut shrimp, or fish bites. I personally will use fish bites. So you catch them, they're good eating. In fact, all five of those fish are good eating. I don't eat redfish, but the rest of them are good. Speckled trout are good eating, especially in the wintertime like this. Where do you want to go? The locations, the bridge fishing in the wintertime, we've talked about it a lot. The bridge fishing is going to be good. Over here in the Choctawhatchee Bay, well, here we go right here, Choctawhatchee Bay. If I fish Choctawhatchee Bay, I would hang around the bridges. J.B. Hiller, they like to come down here fish in the lower end. It's cold weather. They're going to be up in there. The canal, we talk about the canal fishing, come over to West Bay. The West Bay Bridge. We saw some Crooked Creek fishing with Jerry Baker. My cousin caught some the other day at Crooked Creek and Burnt Mill Creek. Those creeks right there. They're going to be concentrated in the area. There'll be some fishing off the Deer Point Dam up here, and you can actually catch them. You catch a trout up there really good too. Down here at this bridge here, Hathaway Bridge, is going to be good fishing for redfish. If you get a chance to surf fish in it, there will be some pompano. You're going to catch some pompano during Christmas. There won't be a lot of them real quick moving down St. Joe Bay. Let's say jump into St. Joe Bay. Canal will be good fishing right there. Canal, you can fish on the shore under the bridge at Highland View. Down here, Black's Island, and all over Town Beach over here, outside the marina will be good fishing. Go down here to fishing from the shore here, okay? And then, of course, the East Point Bridge. I always talk about the East Point Bridge, how good that is in Carabel, the Carabel River. So those I keep talking about those areas because those areas are always producing. And if you get a chance to go to different ones, do that. But keep moving. If you're fishing on the bridge, you're not catching anything there, move to another piling. And those sheepheads are going to be around those bridge pilings. If you get a chance, knock off some of that stuff on the edge and sort of chum up the water. Best thing, chumming up the water is really good. Any kind of fishing, get some chum going with the flow of the water. So you got plenty to look at during the Christmas break. You've got the areas you're going to. You've got what you target. And again, shrimp is always good to stand by. Fiddler crabs for the sheephead, and you can catch your own fiddler crabs. Fish by for surf fishing, and then trolling with your jigs, trolling and casting. I'm going to do some fishing, and I'm going to do some hunting. I'm going to the woods and water this weekend. Water today, woods tomorrow. So I want to, as a wrap up, on wish each one of y'all a very Merry Christmas. I truly appreciate your viewership, and I just enjoy y'all been so good about the correspondence on emails and text and phone calls and all. And I see a lot of y'all every time I go somewhere. I see some folks who watch the show. It does my heart good, and we really appreciate it. And again, we want to thank all the folks who helped put on the show, Gail and Jeff, and also our sponsors. Y'all always support our sponsors. Wrapping it up for 2023. I will see y'all next year in 2024, and y'all have a great Christmas break. Get outdoors and do some things, and do some good things for other folks, and enjoy the outdoors. Merry Christmas, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.